can see, the setup has changed a little bit, but it's due to the fact that I'm now in Switzerland. That's also the reason why I have not been uploading for a month. And that's also the reason why everything has changed behind me. There's a whole new setup, new studio, new everything, basically. Before I left to Switzerland, I did record a video, Day in the Life of a Dutch DJ. It's about a friend of mine. I really wanted to get this video out as soon as possible, so let's get started. As you know, I grew up a large part of my life in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands are known for many things like drugs, hookers, particularly the illegal stuff that is banned in the rest of the world is legal in the Netherlands, kinda. Something that not a lot of people know is that most of the new house, tech, techno, all that kind of music types or genres come from the Netherlands, and that the Netherlands actually export the most amount of DJs from the world, at least the bigger ones. The Netherlands themselves and the Dutch people themselves are known for their techno parties, house parties, dance events, etc. Just to have an example on how many DJs and which DJs are actually all Dutch, I'm just gonna name a bunch of them, and you probably know at least one of those. Well, let's start off with Martin Garrix, Hardwell, Afrojack, Armin van Buuren, Don Diablo, DJ Chesto, Rehab. Chucky is kinda Dutch. He's from Suriname, which is a Dutch, how do you call it? A Dutch, well, it was a former Dutch colony. Nicky Romero, and the list goes on and on and on. Even I have gone to many of those festivals, and I also listen to these music genres, which I really enjoy and have enjoyed for the past X amount of years. An old friend of mine, Robert Vellekoop, going under the artist name of Kriss Reeve, he also worked with many known artists. And I was curious on what it is like to be a DJ and what a day of a DJ or a producer looks like. I asked him if we could meet up together and do this video. During our time in high school, he started mixing existing tracks, making different versions of them, and of course performing at school parties and local bars and clubs. I always admire people chasing their dreams and working hard, so we always stayed in touch, and he also of course noticed my YouTube channel and enjoyed the fact that I was producing, creative videos and creative content as well. Kept on growing his career and now has his own studio and produces music himself. He still does shows as a DJ, and today we're getting a sneak peek into the life of a DJ. So we just arrived in Kriss Reeve's studio, and let's see what he's up to. Hey man, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
Thank you for welcoming me in your studio in your nice place. Welcome. Yeah, today we're going to be following you as a day of a Dutch DJ or producer. You do both, of course, so I know that they're separate things. That's something I do know. Yeah, let's see what you have up here. What kind of setup?
And I call back. Niggas trying to flex. Tell me that I'm lost and located in the back door. Don't even wanna check. Niggas still wanna call it a day. Approach me and got shit to say. Talking to me like you wanted to stay. When they come back around and you still trying to play.
I'm now in the studio with, of course, Kriss Reeve, and I'm wondering on how does he actually build up a track for someone with a goldfish brain like me, if you know what I'm saying. So can you show us, how do you actually build a track? What is in a track? I see all kinds of colors. I have no idea what this means.
All right, so there's multiple ways to start a song, and it's a little bit depending on what type of song you're making. So for this song, it's more of a clubby song, and so mostly we start with the drums and the bass line. And so everything here that's in orange are the drums. And what we mostly start with is the kick drum. So you find a big fat kick drum, sounds like this. And then we just start adding some stuff. A clap, hi-hat, even more hi-hats, shakers.
Damn.
Yeah.
That goes fast. So you just click things together? No, I'm just kidding. He of course is taking an existing track to show us how he does, well, exactly, how he builds up a track, because making something from scratch in just a minute is not possible. But it shows you that every single item is a separate layer, a separate sound, and separate speed.
Exactly.
Everything is pretty complicated. It looks way easier than it actually is.
Okay, so normally, like Dino said, I already selected these songs because this is an existing song. But normally you just go through your samples, listen to your kick drums, see what works, see what you like, and then of course you put it in the project. So for this one we have the drums, and then I started adding a bass line, and these are all the basses combined, but we started with the main bass. And here you can see the melody, and you can just, if you double click, you just write notes and then it will play those notes. And then we have a synthesizer over here. TikTok. Okay, and this synthesizer is where you can actually design the sound. Yeah, and then we started just adding stuff. This one, fat sub bass that the mic probably can't pick up.
Probably not.
And then this one. And that's the bass, and together with all the drums, it sounds like this. Then of course we need some vocals. And these vocals are actually from an old Akon song, but they are by another singer. His name is Swizzy Max. Shout out Swizzy Max. And so that sounds like this.
Hey ladies, drop it down. Just wanna see you touch the ground. Don't be shy, girl, go bonanza. Shake your body like a belly dancer. Hey.
And so we add that on top of the drop, and then it sounds like this.
Belly dancer. Hey ladies, drop it down. Just wanna see you touch the ground. Don't be shy, girl, go bonanza. Shake your body like a belly dancer. Hey ladies, drop.
So that's bass, vocals, drums, and a couple of small effects. Then for the second part, because you want to keep it interesting, we're taking out the vocals and we're playing a lead. And the lead is actually playing the same melody as the vocal, but it's a different sound. And this consists of two layers. The first layer is this one. And the second layer. And so for the second drop, it's part of the drop. It sounds like this. And that's how you make a song for people with a goldfish brain in under a couple of minutes.
That's actually pretty impressive. As you can see, all the sounds are made by himself, and everything. You go through hours and hours just listening to sounds in order to also connect them in a way that it actually sounds good, which is the most impressive part. Because if I would hear only just one sound, I would be like, oh, whatever. But putting it together like this in a song is really, really impressive. So, and this is actually a really good song. So if you guys are not, following him yet on Instagram, you should. I'll leave a plug here in the screen, of course. And you can follow his Spotify songs as well. So I'll leave another plug here in the screen somewhere. Well, I brought you a couple of questions from my viewers, and of course a couple of questions that I'm interested in. I'm wondering, how do you end up here, like in this studio and DJing in general?
I think it was when I was 12. We had like a goodbye party from school. Mm-hmm. And we had a DJ, of course, and the DJ was late for his performance, and so they needed someone to help him with building up his whole DJ set. And so I volunteered to help, and then he showed me a little bit how DJing worked with virtual DJ. Everyone starts with virtual DJ, and so when I came home, I was super interested in it. Started downloading Virtual DJ and making some mixtapes, putting them on my social media, and then I got contacted by a radio DJ.
Okay.
From a local radio station, and he asked me to do like a Friday night mix thing. And so I bought a small DJ set, started practicing every day after school, and then I started doing some DJ mixes on the local radio station. And from there, I wanted to make my own songs. I started with my own edits, then made some remixes, made my own songs. Yeah, that's how I started.
Insane. Yeah, for such a young age, it's actually pretty impressive. So one of the other things is, because I kind of know a little bit about this history, but how did you create this studio? Because he told me earlier, and I also recorded it, I'll show some clips here, that there's horses outside, and I was like, where the hell am I?
Okay, so we are at my parents' place, and well, you can hear the horses outside. I'm not sure if the camera picked that up,
not
but
sure either, but yeah, there are horses outside.
yeah, and so when I started to do this a bit more professional, I started to go to the Herman Brood Academy, and I needed a small studio because my parents, I drove them crazy making music inside the house. So we made a small studio outside, but then I started, people from all over the world started to come here, from Colombia, from Malta, you name it. Yeah, and my studio was super small and unprofessional. So from that moment, I decided to build this studio, and I actually built it myself with my dad.
Yeah.
Started reading books about acoustics, learning how to build my own acoustic panels, as you can see in the background.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've built this studio myself. And
cool.
mostly so I can do more sessions with more artists, and it's not like a small space, and it's actually a professional sounding studio.
Yeah, like a next step in your career.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
super cool. Yeah, I know this because I followed the build stories, of course, on Instagram once he was building this. I was like, wow, it's actually pretty impressive. So yeah, that was what I was wondering. I also got a couple of questions from the viewers which stood out. They were they were asked on YouTube, but also in the Discord channel. And well, 3 of them came back multiple times, so I selected those 3 because multiple people wanted to know that. One is, what is the most interesting thing you've encountered while doing a set or being a DJ in general?
Okay, let me think. There's a couple of things. Okay, there was one time in Greece, I was playing in a club there. And some girls were selling like balloons.
Yeah.
With what's in there? Like some sort of gas that makes you high.
Yeah. Okay.
And the government allowed it, but then one day they decided that it wasn't allowed anymore. But the girls kept selling those balloons, and then a full truck with undercover police came, and all of the girls were running everywhere, and 2 of the girls were hiding underneath my DJ booth while the police was searching for them. And so I was DJing like nothing was happening, but then underneath my DJ booth were 2 balloon girls hiding.
Hiding from the cops because they're selling illegal drugs at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can imagine that's kind of interesting while playing your set.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't expect that. Okay, then another one that came back multiple times is, what does it cost to build a DJ or to start DJing? Does it take a lot of money to start making music?
No, not really. For example, there's music programs that cost you like 200 euros.
Okay.
And you can buy them, and they come with stock plugins and sounds, and you can start right away.
It doesn't take a lot actually so the entry barrier is pretty low for someone to start making music.
Yeah, and for DJing, it's the same. You can buy a program, or there's a couple of really cheap options, and you can just start with that.
Okay, so you don't need fancy stuff to start off with making music.
No, yeah, of course you need a laptop.
Yeah.
You need some headphones.
The basics.
Yeah, but I actually mixed and made some songs on my iPhone in ears, so I mean it's possible.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the last question is, how do you protect your music? With other words, can you explain what do you do with copyrights, or do you do that yourself? Do you have someone for it? How does it actually work?
Okay, so in the Netherlands there's an organization called Buma, or Buma Stemra, and I upload my songs to them, and they actually protect my copyright on the music. They also collect the money that people, or well, let's say it like this: if a radio station plays your song, they owe you money, and they collect that money.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and so with that company, the music is protected.
Okay. And then they pay you out what the...
Exactly. And and I have a publisher as well. And the publisher's actually there to make sure my opportunities are maxed out, and that the Buma is actually doing their job and paying me the correct amount of money. And
okay, so they're like a double check on everything.
Yeah, exactly, and they're just giving me more opportunities, and yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Well, didn't know that either. Well, what do we do next? How do you prepare for a set? Do we have to do something on the computer, or what are we gonna do?
Yeah, so for DJing, there's a program called Rekordbox. It's by Pioneer. Every club has a Pioneer DJ set in there. Yeah, and Rekordbox is the same program as that the DJ sets are using. So we can. On my PC or my Mac, I can prepare everything. I can set my starting points, make loops, make lists, playlists with songs, and so I do that at home.
Okay.
And then usually what I do is we go to the DJ school where I work, and over there I just test everything out on the DJ sets they have there. So I think it's a good idea to go there.
Let's do that. Okay.
Cool.
Now, Robert, we're on our way to the DJ school. What are we gonna do at the DJ school?
Yeah, I want to prepare my DJ set. It's been a long time since COVID that I've actually played for a crowd. So I want to check some new songs, rehearse some transitions, see what works together, and yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's the first time, for the people who don't know. It's the first time since 2 years that he's going to perform in front of an audience. He hasn't performed in 2 years because of COVID. So yeah, he wanted to get, of course, some exercise in. And I'm going to join him and see what is it like and how this school looks like and who's there. So I'm really curious.
Heel voorbereid ook. Alles helemaal. Ja. Al mijn holdviews, memory points. Ik weet bijvoorbeeld dat ik dit nummer moet ik daarin starten, bij dit puntje.
Kriss Reeve.
As you guys know, I'm not a professional YouTuber, so we forgot to make an ending to this video or to this mini documentary, however you want to call it. I really enjoyed this experience, really enjoyed this day, enjoyed meeting all the new people there. It's just an amazing time, and it's super cool to see someone in his element and in his passion. You're so passionate about something and you do something with so much love as well, Kriss Reeve is doing. I'm just gonna call him by his artist name, of course, some extra marketing. It's just amazing. I just love it. I love the energy. I loved all the energy from all the people there, his friends, his surroundings. Everyone is so supportive and so, you know, down with everything what he's doing, that it's really cool to see. I hope you guys like this video, this type of video. I don't do this often. This is like a new type of content and videos that I do every now and then, if I have the opportunity, of course. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video. Ciao.
Perfect.